Essays. Pro tips: do a lot of research on how to write the Common App essay. So the goal of the essays is to build a story behind your application with your writing, because it serves as a background for your teacher recommendations and your extracurriculars and your grades. This is the one place that you still have control over at this point in the college admissions season, because by the time you're writing these essays, your test scores, your grades, and your recommendations are done and over with, and there's nothing you can do about it. Do your research when writing your why this college supplemental essay, because they really want to know that you did your research and you really want to be there. I applied to Stanford through QuestBridge, which is a non-profit scholarship application scholarship thingy, and it lets high achieving low income students under 65k family income or free or reduced lunch eligibility to apply to a bunch of prestigious colleges that they're partnered with early and for free to get a chance to win their thick, almost full ride scholarship. It mainly gave me a chance to make my main Common App essay longer and to write a bit more essays to allow me to express myself more than I would have with the normal Common App. This can be beneficial to your application because you get to show more to the person who's reading it. General essay advice: get lots of people that you trust to look over your essays. For my QuestBridge essays and my supplements, I literally got about 12 people to look at them. I got all my friends and my free online college counselor, shout out College Point, and my AP Lit teacher and the former robotics team president who now goes to Princeton to look over my essays. You have no idea who the admission officer is on the other side of the country that's going to be reading and judging your writing. So you want as many perspectives as you can judging your writing with their own personal biases and such, so that you see that you don't accidentally insult anyone or make things sound very boring. Make multiple Google Docs for people to comment in, ask your best friends, other friends, and language arts teachers, counselors, parents, relatives, older classmates. Don't take everyone's comments at face value, but do consider them. Not everyone's a better writer than you, but not everyone's a worse writer than you. Take it with a pinch of salt. If you go to a school where several older students have gone to top schools, your language arts teachers that have looked over their essays is probably a good source for you to get your essays checked out. The comments and suggestions that you get from the people looking over it will really build your confidence in writing and sending in all your essays when you have to have a time crunch of writing all your essays in 14 days thanks to QuestBridge. Writing these essays was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. It takes a lot of time brainstorming, revising, drafting, editing, and is really hard to do while balancing schoolwork. You really gotta manage your time well, and sometimes you might have to skip that occasional day of two just to grind on these essays, you know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things, a day of school is totally worth missing out on when these essays could potentially get you thousands of dollars in lifetime earnings later in your life if you do end up in a top school. I'm going to quickly go through the topics of all the essays I wrote, so bear with me. Short answer part 1, 200 words. Tell us about one of your proudest achievements or moments and what it says about you. I talked about picking my FRC alliance as the scouting captain in my freshman year that eventually got us to the world championship. If you could get a character from a book or historical figure, who would it be and what would you ask them? I talked about how Nikola Tesla was an underappreciated underdog and how he cured modern day issues with his genius and some cheesy stuff. Short answer part 2, 35 words or 3 sentences. My tip is don't think too hard about these and don't spend too long on them. Favorite subject to study, social studies. Favorite books or movies, Turtles All the Way Down by John Green and Whisper of the Heart by Studio Ghibli. Favorite source of inspiration, friends and success stories of people in my community. How do you spend a typical weekend? Playing basketball, playing Ultimate, practicing ukulele, watching YouTube, studying at Korean coffee shops and volunteering. What compliment have you been given that you're the most proud of? Someone told me that I'm the bravest person they know, which is pretty nice. After a challenging experience, how do you rejuvenate? Sleeping, playing Smash, watching basketball, working on my Thai tea recipe. What would you contribute to your future college campus community? Competitive robotics and volunteering. Essay number 1, a biographical essay, 800 words. It's 150 more words than the Common App essay. How have the factors and challenges that most shape your personal life and aspirations helped you grow? So I talked about attending the first championship my freshman year, working on the chairman's award, and helping start 9 first LEGO League teams in my community, which was an opportunity that I didn't have for other kids. Hello there, it's future me, and as you can see, we are farther into the pandemic, and I'm going to read you excerpts from my main Common App / QuestBridge essay. The faint ringing of light tinnitus resonates inside my head at a wavering frequency. AC/DC's Thunderstruck plays through the speakers in the background and gradually gets louder until it's almost deafening, as the bass vibrates the worn bleachers and the poor eardrums of all the spectators. The screams of thunder and the mesmerizing melody of the electric guitar almost drown out the sound of drills whirring and students yelling at each other to prepare their industrial-sized robots for a long day of battle in the first robotics competition. My first love for robotics came during my freshman year at an event taking place in the gym of a military academy in Gainesville, Georgia. Hundreds of students and spectators alike gathered in this musty warehouse to witness the feats of what a bunch of high schoolers with the help of adult mentors could accomplish in 6 short weeks. There are about 30 teams and 30 robots total, ranging from scraps of wood and metal zip-tied together to pristine cut industrial works of art with vinyl decals on polycarbonate sheets, showing off their sponsorships with corporations like NASA, Lockheed Martin, Novellus, Nordson, and Siemens. A month later, we were on a bus to Houston, Texas to compete at the first World Championship as the 15th best team in the state of Georgia. From sleeping in the cigarette smell engulfed motel rooms of the Red Roof Inn to eating Jollibee's Filipino fried chicken on the carpet of the 33rd floor of the Hyatt Regency Houston, I fell in love with the experience and all the memories I made on this adventure. I've provided them with this opportunity that I didn't have at their age, since my parent didn't have the income or the time to allow me to participate in any after-school activities until high school. I had to develop my own interest in STEM through watching tech videos on YouTube, episodes of Mythbusters and How It's Made, and disassembling old computers. Rather than working on a science project or learning programming fundamentals through Legos, I was playing Wii Sports and modding Minecraft. First Lego League was something that would have intrigued me in science and engineering at a young age that I didn't have access to. From working with these kids, I've learned that I'm able to make an impact on their lives with my guidance and mentorship in the hopes that it plants a seed of early interest in the field of STEM so that they can grow up, stay curious, and stay hungry in their desire of competing in the first robotics competition at the high school level. These experiences have guided me towards pursuing the field of mechanical engineering pertaining to robotics, so that one day I'll be able to return to the musty gyms blasting the opening riffs of Thunderstruck with a group of kids under my belt, eager to compete for their spot at the first World Championship. Yeah. Essay number 2, Topical Essay, 500 words. There's 3 prompts here. I chose the second one, which is describe an experience that caused you to change your perspective and or opinion. I talked about volunteering at the local food bank over the summer. My mom's credit card got declined when I went to Aldi, and then wrote about being appreciative of what I have. Now here's the excerpt of that essay. Beans, corn, chunky soup, tuna. Canned meats are separate. Everything sorted by year of expiration. Fill one box, lid it, put it up on the storage shelf, grab a new one, and stick a label on it. The flow of grocery carts filled with donations in and out of the storage area of the Duluth Co-op food pantry never seemed to end during that 4-hour interval from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays of July. There was always something to do: a fridge to pack with meats, powdered milk or instant coffee to sift into little sandwich bags, laundry detergent to funnel into slightly crumpled plastic bottles, or various commodities to sort into cardboard boxes that line the shelves, forming 3 small aisles in the little warehouse. So for this one, write something that you're passionate about and be very honest and genuine, because I hate liars. To the Stanford Supplemental Essays, which is the same as the regular if you're not using the QuestBridge application. My tip here is use the College Vine essay prompt database to look up your college list's former college essay prompts. Pre-write, brainstorm, and draft these essays before the fall because you're gonna regret it. I had to write 30 essays in 14 days because of QuestBridge. Short answer. Briefly elaborate on one of your extracurriculars or work experiences, 50 to 150 words. So I didn't want to be repetitive, so I covered other things in these questions as well because you want to talk about as many things as you can. Here I talked about my DHS Probe Homework Instagram account where I posted the homework and have applying to college infographics for my classmates. What is the most significant challenge that society faces today? 50 words. Climate change. How did you spend the last 2 summers? Volunteering at a STEM camp, food pantry, fixing my car door window, watching E-League at Turner Studios, learning archery in a basement. What historical moment or event do you wish you could have witnessed? I wrote some BS like how Nick Holonyak invented LEDs. Which 5 words best describe you? I asked my friends about this and then I came up with diligent, supportive, ambitious, enterprising, and attentive. These 5 words should describe yourself in your entire application. When the choice is yours, what do you read, listen to, or watch? So I just put books and artists and anime movies I watched and read. Name one thing you're looking forward to experiencing at Stanford, 50 words. I put the Stanford Student Robotics Group because I'm a nerd. Go explore their student group's database and see what you're into or talk about tradition that Stanford has because that shows demonstrated interest. Imagine you had an extra hour in the day, how would you go about that? Going through a morning routine. Long answer, 100 words to 250 words, minimum maximum. Reflect on an idea or experience that makes you genuinely interested about learning. So I wrote about Wintergarten's marble machine and how I integrated his product breakdown structure with my robotics team and how engineering can be used in a creative manner to make music and other stuff. Write a note to your future roommate to get to know them and the admission officer reading your application better. I did a really cringe bullet point list about how I like hip hop, basketball, watching Studio Ghibli movies, boba, and ukulele. Don't be so serious and express your personal values and interests in this essay like a dating profile. They want to see that you're human, not that you're born to do research and live inside a lab. Tell us something that is meaningful to you and why. I talked about helping others and developing my robotics team's curriculum for new members because they didn't have one before I got there. And that is a rundown of everything I wrote in my application that helped contribute to me getting into Stanford. Thank you all for watching. Smash that like button. Leave a comment if you have any questions or if you want me to look over your essays, I guess. I don't start school for like a month anyway, so hit me up.